Manosphere. This is Daniel, your host. Alright, this is my review of the Netflix episode 1 of Space Force. I understand that this is supposed to kind of be a mockery of Trump and when he created the Space Force branch of the Air Force. The main actor, his name is Steve Carell. You know him in a lot of other comedy stuff, where he's kind of not the smartest guy in the world. I am a bit of a Trump supporter. I'm not really any supporter of any politician or any government official. I like some things and I hate some things. I keep an open mind for the most part. I try to listen to all their arguments and I try to make my best what I feel it has a better argument. That being said, this shit was actually pretty funny. It follows Steve Carell as he's a 4-star general. He becomes a 4-star general, hoping he's taking over the Air Force. And then he finds out that no, he's at the top of his career. He's at the top of his game. He's about to become the 4-star general ahead of the Air Force, he believes. When he goes into a meeting, he finds out that Trump is or not Trump, it says Putin. It doesn't actually mention Trump at all. It also makes fun of Twitter quite a bit in this, which is fucking great. He talks about, the main guy says that there's going to be a tweet the president will be releasing in like 5 minutes about the Space Force, and he hopes people like it. And they put him in charge of it. Out of nowhere. I've been in the military. Shit happens like that. Yeah, so I kind of know, how it feels. You make plans, you make all this stuff, and then you find out last second, and nope, you're going somewhere else. It happens. That's life in the military. So he discovers that he's actually he's not going to take over base in Washington or make area in Washington. They're moving them to Colorado, a small town out in the mountain area of Colorado, at a secret NORAD base, and it shows where he's very kind of uptight military guy. He gets out of bed and in a scene, he makes his bed, like perfectly makes his bed, goes, washes his face, does a whole military style 360 turn, and then climbs back in bed. I'm not that fucking uptight, Jesus Christ. Anyways, and he talks to his wife. His wife thinks they're going to be, somewhat great in Washington. She has all these plans, and it gets shattered, and you see her crying in the bed pretty much. And he's like, "Yeah, we're moving to Colorado. It's going to be fun. We can ride horses and all this stuff." He's like, "In a year, I'll be putting people on the moon." And then fast forward a year, and all things are pretty much hell. His life is falling apart pretty much. He's still living at, he's still the head of the Space Command. He's at the head of the base. His wife is in prison somehow. It doesn't explain how she went to prison. It was somehow, I think she went kind of nuts, and they put her, and she did something and caused herself to go to prison. He's got a Russian dude there. There's scientists who don't agree with him, and he's supposed to launch this satellite into space, like a $4 billion satellite. And the scientists are like, "Hey, it's not time. It's not ready. We send it up there, blah, blah, blah." And he pretty much, he knows it's a couple of Congress people are coming in, and he's got to prove it's worth the money they're spending. So he has to decide if he wants to send it up or not. And everybody's telling him no, yes, no, yes, no. And his life's kind of hectic. He tries to go work out, and all this stuff. Everything's kind of going hectic. And he has this missile defense system. He's like, "Whoa, what about the yellow jacket?" That's what they called it, yellow jacket. And it's like a missile painted yellow. He's like, "Oh, I like the yellow fins. Those are nice." And you're like, "Yeah, man, it looks sleek, doesn't it?" And he's like, "Well, let's launch it and see how it does." And they're like, well, I don't know if it's ready, sir. And they're like, oh, I'm sure it's close enough. You know, they've spent a bunch of money, and it's been 6 months. They haven't heard anything in 6 months. So they hit the fire button, and it just blows up, right? Like they're inside like a bunker, and it's like flames. And he's like, well, that wasn't ready. Shit. How much was that? That was worth 4 middle school, sir. Shit. Oh my God. It kind of makes fun of wasting money, government waste. It makes fun of overspending in the military, which in some ways we do, in some ways we don't. I was in the Marines, so we didn't get shit because we're part of the Navy. So whatever the Navy gets, we get whatever they don't spend, pretty much, which sucks because we have like 10-year-old rifles. I think they just got new rifles in when I left. Oh man. But anyways, so that happened. So he goes back and he says, we're gonna have to launch. We have no choice. Scientists are like, well, we don't have, it's too, you know, the humidity in the air is too high. It could cause problems to fuel. They end up do launch, and it does get launched. So if it's a he actually has a successful launch. So he's finally he feels like everything's calm. He's finally, you know, kind of snapped at his helicopter pilot a little bit. Apologizes to her. There's a couple other funny little scenes here and there, and as he's trying to like maintain the base, but everybody thinks it's a complete joke. His kid's like rebellious now because she's a teenager. She was all respectful before, now she's all rebellious, and she's dating a 10-year-old, the Russian kid. There's like a Russian young adult there, and she's actually dating him. He's like 10 years older than her. He's like, what the hell? He's like 10 years older than you. What are you doing seeing him? Oh man, it's actually pretty funny and pretty clever. They have a scene where he's at dinner with a bunch of the thing, and he's like, so what do you suggest here? It's like a fancier looking restaurant. He's like, it's the tuna fish. He's like, oh, sushi? You guys have sushi for me? How much do the taxpayers paying for that? He's like, no, I meant a sandwich. She's like, oh, is it supposed to be a joke? It's a joke, I know. And they have like someone that's supposed to be representing the new age. You know, is that satellite going to have lasers and some other kind of weapon? He's like, no. They have a steel net, shoots this big net out, it wraps around and paralyzes other satellites. She's like, well, that's dumb. Anyways, it keeps going. I'm jumping a little back and forth here. Then he gets up from the table. This is before the ship gets shot off. And he's still trying to tell these Congress people that it's fine and everything's fine. Don't worry. And then he gets a call from his dad, who is senile, and his mom's senile. So his dad's staying out front in his like robe. He's like, "How's your wife doing? I know you'll be a beautiful couple." He's like, "She's in prison, Dad." "Oh, I know you two love each other." He's like, "I was under a house. I crawled under a house. No one could find me." He's like, "Your mom's running around in her nightgown again, somewhere in freaking some city." So he calls in his pretty much his secretary guy. He says, "Hey, reroute satellite, blah blah blah." And then he like zooms in, and his mom's standing in the middle of this like intersection. He's like, "She's on the intersection, blah blah. Tell the housekeeper to go get her." And, he goes back to the table, blah blah blah. At the end, it's pretty much him sitting on the porch with the main scientist. And the scientist is like, "How did you know that we'd have a successful launch, even though the numbers were off?" He's like, "I may not know science, but I know people." And he has this like little scene where he makes fun of this Chinese guy, and this Asian guy standing there, and he behind his back he pulls out a umbrella, and there's only a couple clouds in the sky, like one or two, and he said, "People like that can never take risks. So if we're going to get to the moon, we have to take some risks, and we have to prove that we earn it," which is actually a good scene because it does, that's true. Nothing's going to happen without sacrifice. Anyways, they have a little thing where the satellite's coming over. He's looking it through This is really the funniest part in the whole movie. He's looking through his telescope. And he's looking at the new satellite up there, all beautiful. And then this bigger satellite flies by it. He's like, "What is that?" And like an arm comes out and like dismantles the satellite. And he's like, "Fuck!" My guess is it's supposed to be like a big Chinese satellite. Just fucking destroys their satellite. It's like nothing. They're just like, "Oh shit!" Okay, I'll say this. I get the show is supposed to be kind of mocking Trump, but you know, I may support some of the things he does, and I don't support everything he does. But I have the ability. I'm funny. I like comedy, so I can take jokes, unlike a lot of people we know, and it's fine. You can mock Trump if he deserves it. Some things he does, he deserves to get mocked. Sometimes, not so much. So, you know, this whole thing is kind of funny, okay? I get it. It's pretty funny. And it's not a bad show. I actually was like, it gets a little bit here and there. You're like, eh. But most of it was pretty good. You know, I laughed quite a few times. And I'll do it. What I'm going to do is each episode I'll do a review. And, I'll put them on the channel. And I hope it's not bad. I hope it gets better. I don't know. I hope it doesn't go like super woke. Like, it has a couple of woke moments in there where he attacks another general for being a sexist, but in a joking way, like he's kind of making fun of it. And they make fun of Twitter quite a bit. They have a dude in there like, "You want to see your tweet for today?" And he's like, "I don't get it." He's like, Wendy's coming out with a raw burger, and you got a lightsaber, and you can cook it with cook the burger. He's like, "What?" He's like, "You don't kid because you're old." So you're fired. Oh man, it's pretty good. I suggest you go see it. Even if you want to just watch something that's kind of funny. If you hate Trump, whatever, you'll probably love it way more than I did. But it was still, clever way of kind of making fun of some of the decisions of our government. Not just Trump. It makes fun of a lot of different things. Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I hope to keep seeing you out here in the Mirror Sphere, and let's keep growing. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.